Alright guys, here's section 4. We're going to multiply and divide rational expressions. So, example 1. I'm going to do 5 examples here. So, here's what we do. Number 1, simplify a rational expression. Look at the top, look at the bottom. Looks like it doesn't simplify, but if you look at the top, it factors. If you look at the bottom, it factors. So, let's do the bottom. It's a difference of squares. All that stuff you learned in chapter 5 applies now. So x plus 3, x minus 3, difference of squares. On the top, factors of negative 15 that add up to negative 2, 5 and 3. So x minus 5, x plus 3 make this. You gotta know how to factor quadratics and cubes as well. So after you do this, as you notice, this is like a times b up top, a times b, and then on the bottom, well, if that was b, that's b, so b times c. And you should know that you can cross off b. B divided by b is 1. So really it's just a over c. This is the property we're using. So basically all you do is this: x plus 3 divided by x plus 3, gone. You're left with x minus 5 on top over x minus 3 on the bottom. No, you can't cross out these x's. This is a quantity, x minus 5, quantity x minus 3. That's it. Alright, so now to simplify a rational expression by what? By factoring. So key thing today is factoring. So, you know, little example, what if you had 2x squared plus 4, and on the bottom you had 2x plus 8. Alright, well, remember GCF, even though it's a quadratic, it doesn't factor like these do, but there is a GCF here. Pull out a 2, you get x squared plus 2. On the bottom, 2 and 8, you can pull out a 2 as well. That's x plus 4, and 2 divided by 2 cancels out. You're left with x squared plus 2, x plus 4. You can't do anything with these two things here. So just be careful. Know how to factor. Remember, number one thing you look for is their GCF. And then you can look and see, okay, it's a quadratic, so factors of negative 15 add up to 2, so on, so on. Or it's a difference of squares. Or it's a difference of cubes. Remember that. X cubed minus 8. You know, you got to remember that formula. A cubed minus b cubed equals a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. And then there's sum of cubes. So you got sum of cubes, you got difference of cubes, you got difference of squares, you got a normal quadratic. What if you had a 2 out front? Then you'd slide and divide. So all those things are coming up again this section. And that's the only reason this section would be hard for anybody. If not, if you know factoring well, this is an easy section. So let's move on to example 2. Alright, so this one we're multiplying two fractions together. So what if I told you, I don't know, 3/4 times 2/6, something like that. You know you can multiply these together and get 6, and multiply these together and get 24, 6/24. Divide the top by 6. Both of these are divisible by 6. Divide the top by 6, that's 1. Divide the bottom by 6, that's 4. So actually, this times this is 1/4. There's another way you could do it instead of multiplying the tops. You could cross reduce. This is not cross multiply, but cross reduce. 2 and 4 have something in common. 2, right? So divide by 2, that's 1. Divide by 2, that's 2. 3 and 6 have something in common. Divide by 3, that's 1. Divide by 3, that's 2. Look what happens. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. You still get 1/4. So whichever way you want to do it, that's fine with me. So if you like to multiply, do the tops. 8 times 7, 56. X cubed times x to the 4th. Got to memorize, or got to know how to do the powers. You add the powers, x to the 7th. Y times y cubed, y4 over 2 times 4, here's 8, x times nothing, there's x, y squared times y cubed. And then you look at 56/8, see if you can divide anything. Well, 8 goes into 56 7 times. So divide by 8. Divide by 8. There's 1 on the bottom. We don't need to put it. X is 7 over x. So that's x to the first. 7 minus 1. There's 6 x's left on top. y4 divided by y3. There's more on top. So y4 minus 3 is 1. We don't need to put a 1 down here, but 7x6 y to the first. There you go, final answer. So if you're dealing with something that looks like this, just multiply them together and then simplify. Or you could cross reduce, like 8 and 4 cross reduce to 2 and 1. 7 and 2, no, but 2 and 2 does. So 2 divided by 2, that's 1. So those canceled out. Just got to be real careful with this because there's a lot of slashing. Alright, so this is how you do something that looks like example 2. Okay.